The coordinators say that this march is critical. As the Supreme Court considers making same-sex marriage the law of the land, it's time for those who believe in traditional marriage to take a stand.
I saw people from all parts of the country.
Nelsa Ilyas attended last year's march as one of the representatives from the Diocese of Brooklyn. What impressed her most was the unity of the crowd. Not everyone was Catholic. She saw people from all different faiths and different parts of the country, but they all had one purpose: to publicly state marriage is between one man and one woman.
To be in a group of hundreds of people, standing in the rain, having traveled from different areas to meet in one common place to stand for this common belief, it made me see and realize the bigger picture. That what I publicly say or don't say does have an impact on society.
Just days after this marriage march, the Supreme Court will consider striking down state laws that affirm and protect the institution of marriage as a union only between one man and one woman. The final decision is expected this summer. Either state governments will continue to decide whether or not to uphold traditional marriage, or the highest court in the land will rule otherwise, potentially legalizing homosexual marriage. Several U.S. bishops and leaders from more than a dozen faiths wrote a letter urging the court to uphold traditional marriage, arguing that every child deserves the opportunity to be raised by their own mother and father. The coordinator for education and formation in the Brooklyn Diocese, Ted Musco, says that the church's stance is based solidly on the law of God.
If we go back in the Bible, in the very beginning, God created man and woman. And from that first union, we had the first children, and families continued from then.
The coordinators of the marriage march say that 50 million state voters upheld traditional marriage in the ballot box. Ted Musco says that the marriage issue is vital to the Catholics of the Diocese of Brooklyn as well.
People say, okay, we know these are traditional values, but we also want them to be contemporary values. So we want them to be explained a little bit better, to be shared with people who might have questions, and not to be hidden away or put under the bushel basket, but rather raised up and said, this is something we're proud of, that our marriage commitments are something that should be promoted.
Ted knows that the best way to support marriage is through example. This weekend, while hundreds witness in Washington, the Diocese of Brooklyn will host a mass celebrating couples who've been married 25 years or longer. One couple in the crowd will be celebrating 70 years of commitment. One man, one woman, as God intended. Reporting for Currents from Windsor Terrace, I'm Katie Breidenbach.